When the first human signal entered the communication net of the Galactic Empire, it was dismissed as background noise. The analysts at the relay stations marked it as another primitive pulse from an unknown backwater world. To the Empire, space was already charted, catalogued, and tamed. Civilizations were neatly categorized into classes, their development measured in units of stellar reach and energy harnessing. By that scale, humanity was irrelevant, yet the signal persisted, repeating on an odd frequency that cut through the usual interference. Someone decided to trace it, and in doing so, they uncovered a system that was not on any imperial map. The Empire had existed for millennia, sprawling across thousands of sectors, ruling over trillions with order enforced by fleets that blotted out the stars. None had dared challenge its supremacy. When reports arrived that an unknown fleet was moving at impossible velocity toward the frontier, no one took it seriously. The Admiralty laughed, saying that some minor species had probably found an asteroid engine or copied outdated Imperial drive schematics. They sent a cruiser squadron to make contact. It never returned. The first recordings that leaked from that encounter were confusing. The scout probes transmitted glimpses of metallic hulls shaped like blades, sharp and gleaming, with movement too precise to be mechanical. The energy signatures were unfamiliar, their drive emissions minimal, as though the vessels bent physics rather than obeyed it. At first, analysts insisted the data was corrupted, but when a transmission from the unknown fleet came through, translated through every known linguistic matrix, it contained one message. Human expeditionary fleet entering border space for negotiation. Do not fire. The council chamber erupted with disbelief. The Minister of Intelligence recalled that humans were a pre-warp civilization, barely industrial by the last records from ancient surveys. Some old explorers had noted the planet once, calling it a lost cradle species. How could such a race appear with ships capable of crossing half the galaxy undetected? The Empire sent an ambassador fleet to establish dominance. It arrived in the neutral sector beyond the rim line, a desolate area of cold suns and drifting wrecks from forgotten wars. The humans were already waiting there. The Empire's ships, polished with the emblem of eternity, dwarfed the smaller human vessels in number and size. Yet as they approached, every Imperial sensor began to fail. Shields fluctuated, engines lost sync. The Admiral demanded a full scan, but the readings showed something impossible. The human vessels were not generating power in any known spectrum. Their core readings registered as stable nulls, as if the ships were consuming reality itself to stay aloft. Then came the hail, short, polite, almost apologetic. The lead human ship identified itself as an envoy vessel, requesting formal recognition of their return to the galactic stage. The Admiral refused, demanding immediate surrender for unauthorized military presence. The reply was calm. Your maps forgot us. That was your mistake, not ours. The battle that followed was never officially recorded in the Empire's archives, but rumors spread faster than light. Entire fleets vanished in a single engagement. The survivors spoke of beams that didn't emit light, weapons that tore gravity apart, and projectiles that appeared from empty space. One officer described seeing his command ship sliced in half without an explosion, the metal simply ceasing to exist along a perfect line. When the Empire tried to respond, its own weapons misfired, guidance systems malfunctioned, and communication links jammed with echoes of their own panic. The humans didn't pursue or destroy the retreating vessels. They simply watched them flee, then transmitted coordinates for a diplomatic summit. The High Council convened under urgent alert. Across the capital world, the core intelligences simulated every possible outcome of confrontation. None ended favorably. The word human reappeared in reports for the first time in 10,000 cycles, attached now with caution markers reserved for galactic threats. Scientists dissected the few fragments recovered from the battlefield. What they found contradicted every known engineering principle. The human alloy was layered on molecular lattices that responded to thought patterns, suggesting the ships were semi-sentient, bonded with their pilots. Even more unsettling was the energy core, described as an artificial singularity stabilized not by containment fields, but by a form of harmonic resonance. That technology should have been suicidal, yet the readings showed perfect equilibrium. It was as if the humans had learned to whisper to black holes and make them obey. While the council argued, new reports arrived. Human ships had entered several neutral sectors, not as conquerors but as observers. They sent envoys to independent colonies offering trade and technology in exchange for history. They wanted to know what had happened during the eons they were gone. No one could answer. The records of humanity's supposed extinction were vague, lost in the chaos of the old collapse. Then the most disturbing discovery came from a deep archive dig. A historian unearthed an ancient record from before the Empire's founding, a note about a species from a blue planet, fierce and inventive, who vanished after a great war among themselves. The data ended there. The Council realized humanity had once walked among the stars long ago only to disappear. And now somehow they had returned not as refugees but as masters of forces beyond comprehension. The Imperial military demanded action, warning that allowing such power unchecked could destabilize the entire galactic balance. But when the fleet was assembled near the border, human ships appeared again, this time larger, darker, their hulls etched with unknown runes that shimmered like liquid stars. Without firing a shot, they neutralized every weapon in range. The admirals tried to issue commands, but the human fleet broadcast a message through every channel. We seek coexistence, not submission. The Empire may continue, but it will not command the galaxy alone. That statement sent shockwaves through every government and world. For the first time in living memory, someone had spoken to the Empire without fear. The news spread across the outer colonies, and whispers began among the oppressed worlds. Whispers of alliance, of rebellion, of hope. The humans did not promise liberation, only balance. But to those who had known nothing but tyranny, that was enough. A meeting was arranged on the neutral moon of Arthas. The Empire sent its most trusted diplomats. The humans arrived not in ornate dress but simple uniforms, calm and courteous. When they entered the hall, the ambient sensors malfunctioned again, registering gravity distortions and unknown spatial harmonics. One diplomat tried to scan them discreetly, only to find his device melted from the inside. The lead human placed a small sphere on the table and spoke. "This is what we used to defend our world. We never sought conquest. We sought survival. Every threat that came for us, we adapted to meet it. You build empires from fear. We built strength from necessity." The sphere opened silently, projecting an image of Earth, green, blue, radiant under a single sun. Around it were the ruins of countless defense rings, scars of battles unknown to the Empire. Then came the images of humanity's journey, the war that shattered their world, the exodus into void space, the centuries spent learning to tame the abyss itself. They had faced extinction not once but many times, each time enduring, rebuilding, evolving. The Empire's envoy asked why they had returned. The humans' answer was simple. "Because we heard your fleets expanding into the dark, repeating the same mistakes our ancestors made. We will not watch another galaxy burn." The words unsettled every listener. The humans were not seeking revenge or dominance. They were warning the galaxy. Yet beneath their calm tone was an unspoken power, a reminder that they could enforce peace if needed. The Empire's leadership debated endlessly afterward. Some argued to destroy them before they grew stronger. Others cautioned that such action would doom them all. Soon after, reports began emerging from the outer sectors. Pirates vanished. Slavers disappeared. Warlords surrendered without a fight. A human vessel would arrive silently, issue a single order to cease, and then leave. None dared resist. The Empire's propaganda tried to downplay it, calling it a coincidence. But the truth was obvious. Humanity had become the invisible arbiter of the galaxy. Months later, an Imperial reconnaissance fleet was sent to monitor human space. What they found defied imagination. Entire planets had been converted into living ecosystems intertwined with orbital megastructures. Cities floated among clouds powered by suns encased in energy shells. There were no signs of poverty, no crime, no oppression. Every system operated with harmony between machine and life. The Empire's observers returned shaken. "Humans don't have ships like that," one whispered, staring at the recorded footage of a vessel the size of a moon rising from an ocean of light. "They have something else, something we can't even name." Rumors spread that humanity's greatest ship, the one they called the Guardian, could alter time in localized zones, repairing what was destroyed before it even broke. The Empire dismissed this as superstition, yet the records of human victories were undeniable. When a rogue planetary governor tried to attack a neutral colony, his entire armada disappeared mid-jump. No explosion, no trace, just silence. The colony later reported that a single human ship had arrived moments before. its presence causing every star in the system to dim. The Empire began to retreat,